and good night. Another Monday, another episode of For the Hour. We are coming to you live from Tobago Update Studio, and compliments of the season to you. Is it too early to say compliments of the season? It might not be. Depends on who you're asking, but we're in November already, and November has started, and so, you know, the place getting darker a little earlier. You could see it the Christmas, and the place is getting cold. So we could see for sure the Christmas is coming, the season is coming. So compliments of the season to everybody. All right. We have been on a little bit of a hiatus. We could call it a little break. You know, we take a little jump up for Carnival, the first inaugural Carnival, and you know we take a rest, and now we're back, and we're ready. We're getting up and we're ready to go. I feel like we're on a new season of 40 Hour, and you know this new season and this new period, we expect great things. Hopefully, we also expect Miss Glendora to come back. But again, until she does, you've stuck with me. All right? So, as I said before, we had the Tobago Carnival. We just wrapped up the Tobago Carnival about a week and some ago. And we're kind of doing a post-mortem on how everything went. Of course, our inaugural Carnival. And so, it hasn't been done in that sense or in that way in time memorial. So we generally in uncharted waters, and so we have been gathering the opinions of all the stakeholders, all the persons who partook in the carnival, getting their opinions. If they have anything that they want to add, they will want to see going forward. They could give those if they have any criticisms, or if they want to give the kudos to the persons who were involved in the planning and the implementation of the carnival. They have that option as well. All right? And so Tobago Updates has been giving that opportunity for all the stakeholders to have their say. And tonight we will continue doing so. All right? So we're going to discuss what really took place with all panelists over the Tobago Carnival. Of course, we had a long period of probably like about close to a month, many events. I think the calendar, when we do the official, it was over 30 events, you know, 30 to 40 events for the carnival. And, you know, so we have to do a post-mortem on how everything went. And tonight we have on the panel to discuss with us, our esteemed panel, we have Mr. Avery Seaton, the chairman of the New Tobago Soca Monarch. We have Mr. Eric Powder, comedian, well-known comedian, also a cultural practitioner. And we have Simba Lion, who is a soca artist and entertainer. All right? So we have these three esteemed panelists with us tonight. We're here to discuss Tobago Carnival. Was it a hit or was it a miss? All right? So, gentlemen, as I said, we just wrap up Tobago Carnival for the first time. They're calling it first and last, right? First and last, because we could technically be seen as the first of the carnival season and the last of the carnival season. So we take the throne from Miami of being the last carnival for the calendar year, all right? And now the country on a whole has the title of the first and last carnival, because we started off in February, March, and now we finish it in October, which is kind of fitting because we do it the best, right? Yeah, right? We do it the best. But for the inaugural, Tobago's inaugural offering of carnival, what do you think, what are your thoughts, your initial thoughts of how it went, how it passed? Did you partake with the events? Did you think it was well patronized? We're going to start with Mr. Seaton. How do you think your inaugural thoughts on the carnival?
Why me?
Because you're closest to me. You're closest to me.
Why me? Come on.
So what are your inaugural thoughts?
Honestly, my thoughts on the carnival. Where should I start? It was good. It was a great idea, and I always say this. I was always on this station for 4 times on the station between the carnival, and I said I will say it again. I am one of the persons who sat down with then Minister Peters when he was culture minister, and we had sat down and we wrote the document for the carnival in Tobago, and that was rejected. It was rejected.
It was rejected.
It was rejected. Plain talk, it was rejected. It was rejected. But then it came out. Then it's here now, and it's here now, and it happened. But there's a lot of things need to be developed within it.
Right.
It's his first time it's happening, like any child take first step. You know, take a time and get there, and then from walking, into running and get into that thing. But my take on the carnival itself is a lot of room for improvement.
Okay.
I took part in it. Anybody who hear the word carnival and a carnival like myself, it could be under a rock, long as carnival. It could be under the tree, long as carnival. We coming out and we and we partaking. So a lot of persons who masqueraders and juveons, I call them juveons, and everybody come with the money. I meet my partner Simba down and come point, and I gave him some mud and I gave him some oil. I threw some paint and he started straight like a rock. I said, "Boy, I'm boy, you have no trees in carnival. Take something." You know, I stiff, still. So I gave him something. So now we take part of it, but it's behind the scenes and knowing how carnival is run and knowing the elements of carnival. There's a lot of things was missing. A lot of things I think could be done much better. But I'm saying the success of it getting out.
Right.
And I said over and over again, this station and many stations I went to, all eyes was on Tobago.
Yes.
And Tobago supposed to shine bright like a diamond. It shine bright, not like a diamond to me, but it shine.
All right. Thank you for your input there, Mr. Powder. How you think it was? How you think it was for the first try?
Well, the thing is that I did not participate much because of other, engagements I had. But I was in the Calypso final, and I monitored other shows online and on TV, and followed the comments by on the radio, TV, whatever. I think it's not a first. When I say it's a first, because it's Tobago Carnival, but we tried the Tobago Fest.
Right.
In the late 90s, early 2000s. That used to be more like September into October. Prince Unique even capitalized on that. I did a selection called Septober Mass.
Right.
And that is the good thing about the date, about the way it is placed on the calendar. Because I think we are strategically placed at the end of the Carnival calendar, after Miami Carnival, and it's where you can set the pace now to jump into the next year Carnival. We've seen it happen before, even as far back as August, crop over. We saw singers from Barbados having hits and running straight into Carnival, coming down here, singing in the tents, and making big hits, making plenty money too. So this is Tobago's chance for the soca artists, the calypsonians, even the mass producers, the band leaders, to set the pace here, because after this is into Christmas. And Christmas is usually cut short by Carnival.
Boxing Day.
Even before Boxing Day. Fellas drop the hits and they start going in. And when you have Carnival coming in February and thing, Calypso tends to get to open their door on New Year's and that kind of thing. So it's a nice stepping stone for fellas, to soca artists and thing, to just jump into the big thing. Right? But the thing is that this year we saw many late starts with a lot of things. The committee came to being kind of late. At one point, some people were confused, even me, as to what was the mandate, because you had different people talking. You had a chairman of a committee who sometimes could not answer certain questions. It had to go back to the politicians and, you know, back and forth, you know. And I think that was part of sorting out exactly how we're doing this thing.
Right.
So you heard things like no competitions, then eventually you hear we have competitions, and it was late, so some people not prepared.
Right.
So who do their homework and come forward, they excel, and others were disadvantaged, you know. So I think all in all, even because of being accustomed to Carnival in February and March, where there's a build-up, a national build-up from Christmas end, Tobago having a Carnival on its own needed a build-up. Right. So you had throughout the month of October where you have promoters putting on fetes and putting on different events, so that even some of the soca artists and, you know, they could get a little test. Because I look at the even last night they show on TTT, they show the soca monarch, and I saw some of the artists actually gasping for breath on stage, because like it's the first time they get to sing their song. So you know, when you have this build up to the thing and fellas getting a little gig here and there, then they building up the energy, and when they reach on stage and final night, then they're gonna mash up the place. Right. So I think all in all, looking at what happened and the challenges we had with the weather, there are many things we have to take into consideration. I think the organizers must get closer together with the stakeholders at all levels in organizing next year's event, right? And take into consideration the type of weather we have. Okay, so that some of the outdoor events maybe have to shift to indoors, unless it's a wet fete or whatever, right? So I think more collaboration with the stakeholders, and we could make it greater next year.
All right, Simba.
Yeah,
he was very vocal on what the carnival should be. Tell me what you thought the carnival was.
Well, watch. Definitely, I could say. Good night, people.
Good night, everybody. Good night.
Definitely, I could say. The carnival to the rest of the world, it looked real magnificent. Definitely. My first thought, even for foreigners, they had plenty masquerade, there's plenty truck. Even one band had 2 big trucks. First time I see that in Tobago Carnival. Now, we have to remember something. One, it's not the first time we as a people doing carnival. We do carnival every year with the normal carnival.
Yes.
But it's the first time that the whole world was directed at us, right? And I just honestly believe that this was the time that the ones on them who in charge are showing the carnival should I say, all right, time to put Tobago people on the map. Now, a lot of people quick on also my social media, they tell me, Simba, artists were supposed to market themselves. It's not about marketing yourself, it's about a market that should have been there. Because guess what? It's Tobago Carnival. Therefore, we expect a Tobago product to put out to the world. To push. So for example, let me take it from a couple of years back when they used to do things like Soca Storm, right? Soca Storm going around the different schools, right? So you're telling me that y'all couldn't be creative enough and put out a bulletin and say, here what's going on. We have Soca Storm going on in the schools, all artists who whether it be Calypso or name, come forward so we know who is who, give them that chance. As Mr. Powder just say, some artists, they was gasping for breath. Why? One, anticipation, waiting to blow. So long I've been waiting to get a chance to sing. 2, I ain't getting I'm waiting to blow so much that when I get a chance, I can't wait.
Everything.
then it have the anticipation. Then again it have the chance that you ain't getting no other place to sing, so you're not getting no practice to say, well, no, like last time I did that, let me watch back that clipping and say next time I go do this. They did not create no avenues. They didn't create no, for example, 92.9, big up Mr. George Leacock, I know, right? They don't always do this, but they used to do a thing called Soca under the salmon tree. Soca under the salmon tree. That used to be where the local artists get a chance to come forward and put out their music. Let the people, when they announce, I say, we have so and so. Now, we in a world where we live in today, everybody online. So from time you say the person name is Kid Boss, you type up on your YouTube, Kid Boss. Let me see if Kid Boss have a song out there. When you type up, you're going to find him, right? If he do, right? Right now, I can tell you something real quick, right? There was a list of 40 to 50 artists that went out saying, Tobago Soca Artist 2022-2023. I believe I sent it to you as well, right?
I will talk after you.
And based on this list, if I tell you, I was the one responsible for this list. I was the one who went and look up in these artists and put it out there because I wanted Tobago to realize that we had talent and we had artists here, right? And I sent this list out there. I sent it to some DJ Goofy from 91. He said, Simba, so and so artist, so and so, who do this? I said, let me find out, and I go and tell my wife, because she's the one doing my graphic. I said, darling, we miss so and so, so and so. We went and put it in. I didn't have to do that. But I tell myself, we need to get Tobago to recognize the craft of the music. Now, Carnival is a big platform. It have the mass band, it have the pan, it are the masqueraders, it are the calypsonians, it are the ones who build the tent, it are the ones who cook the food. There's a lot of different parts within the carnival. When you look at the carnival on a whole, you saw all of that, right? But my problem mainly is a lot of funds was put into the carnival, and it seemed like most of these funds went out at Tobago. So that is my problem with the whole carnival. And I will stop with that for now, you know.
You're itching to get Avery.
I need to get you because you know why? I am Avery Seaton, the fighter, one of the fighter for soca music in Trinidad and Tobago. My background go way back into culture. I'm a culture program coordinator under the division of culture of Trinidad and Tobago, fighting for soca music and artists and the culture of Trinidad and Tobago. When I came to Tobago in 2014, I sat down and I researched and I found out there's a soca monarch by the then deceased Rennie Dumas in 2015. I watched it, and in 2016 I stepped in. And when I stepped in 2016, it was the biggest soca production ever happened in Tobago, right in Buku. When I saw the talent of soca artists, and I saw the greatness of the talent we have here, I used to walk in the airport and listen to people sing. I said, I go record you. You come. You come. You come. That little Simba gave me a short Simba, sorry. There's much more artists I can add on the list. And when I fought for Tobago Soca, I and my comrades in Trinidad and Tobago, and we fought for the carnival. We fought for carnival and soca music. And when I heard the great news that they're launching at Tobago's carnival, I said, yes, I'm happy, I'm proud. When I sat on the meetings with all the stakeholders of Tobago for the carnival and they're asking the question and doing the research, I was there. And then when they decided to have a carnival, the battles Avery Seaton. They quiet me down and pushed me in a corner like a little boy. I stood down and watched suck my lollipop and I watch things happening. And I watch things happen. This time we talk.
Right.
And I watch things happening. And I watch things unfolding. And I still give my little 30, 40 years advice. I'm 57 years old, so I give my little 30, 40 years advice. And then lock me out again. Simba, you know I've been fighting for you a long time. And when Tobago comes with a carnival, the whole world looking at Tobago to see what Tobago have
to offer.
When America come with their show, American Got Talent, they're looking for what America have. When Britain had talent, look at what Britain have. Howdy, we could have a Tobago carnival and have Tobago artists being the guests and having other artists being the highlight. I accept that and I say, it can't work.
And
This carnival, listen, this carnival missed the mark by 100% when it comes to artists.
Tobago artists.
Of course.
Right.
You mentioned a carnival humpy dumpy months before the carnival. You was to put together a marketing strategy and plan. Get all the artists within the carnival, from the Calypso to the Rapso to the everybody else, in a pot. Find a way how to nurture that talent and how to highlight it. I'm not saying all going to be the best of the crop, but there's few that you can highlight. Every show you see, let me go beyond the carnival. Before the carnival start, I always saying this. You're hiring Princess Adana. Adana is one of the best female vocalists on the island.
Agree.
I went to a show.
Nobody disagree.
When my partner, deceased Black, was alive, I went the first show, I come to Tobago when the first show down in what you call the place, Strawberry, not Strawberry, Pigeon Point. And I see Black song in the back and we take a little drink and relaxing. When I hear that girl sing her Black singer, who is that? Who's singing there, boy? And we go and we see Adana and she tore her heels and she pelleting vocals. The mic quiet and she vocals going over the mic.
Powerful.
And she powerful. I said, who is that? She was not on the bill. The bill mini flyer.
So
We put our artists in a little dot on the spot, like Tobago, a dot on the island, a little dot on the spot.
Right.
So when I hear Tobago Carnival, I say no, we artists will get blop. And the guest artists will be the Trinidadians. I think, how a man can be the guest in his own house? Answer that, Silva.
Well, as I was saying, I do understand, and we had the chance to put with people first for the carnival. And it's not just about artists alone. Let me just go straight across the board, you know. It's not just about artists alone, you know. It's about the whole idea. They call it the creatives. The whole idea behind the carnival. Let me see how we could pump some of that 17 million. They say it's not 17, they say it's 12.
They save.
Right, so let's save it for rainy day. Or let's save it for rainy day and people complaining. Now, if you want to look at it, let me try to see how we could develop. If that is the idea behind whatever we're doing, is to develop. We keep a carnival, we're going to try to develop the whole thing, right? Now, if we have money that we pumped into the carnival, I believe when this money come out and wherever it go, it could have gone somewhere in the Tobago Creatives pocket, where they could have then take and further develop, either if you're the artist, go and develop something towards that personally. If you're dealing with PAN, go and open a school, because you come and you get money to invest now. Now, nobody's saying the government's supposed to give you shows or all of that. But think about it. If all you do the carnival, right, and all you have only foreigners, and what we offering, what we saying we represent foreign. Think about it, you know. Some want to say that the market for the music is not here. Now let me just break that down. The market is dancehall, soca, reggae, and some alternatives. All this is type of music we listen here, no? Right? We listen this here. So there is a market here for that music. When the artists come, whether you all bring in artists from Jamaica because it's a dancehall party, I believe it should have some kind of mandate, some kind of mandatory thing where it is like, here, for the carnival, all they bring in, all want to do a party for the carnival, or they must have at least 3-4 artists from Tobago on the cars. Nobody's saying Tobago have to overtake your threatening, because it's you're the promoter, you have the right to bring who you want. But remember, we're trying to develop we own country. So all you have to have some kind of pride within all you. Where all your allegiance to Tobago or to the rest of the world? To Trinidad and to Burna Boy?
Let me do start on the Burna Boy. When you start on Burna, then you will start a thing, because that's my Listen. A comment that was coming out of the space that I heard is that the organizers of the carnival It was the promoters had a kind of complaint that the organizers was kind of competing, the promoters competing with the organizers of the carnival, right? Organizers being the stakeholders, the division who put it on, and you know, right? And so we had a big concert to kick off the carnival, like Bego Jam, right? Bego Jam was a free concert, and they had Kess, and they had all the big artists coming in from Trinidad. And so what happened there is that because it was a free event, it was a well patronized event as well in Dungy Shore Park.
Yep.
What happened during the course of the carnival, you don't come and see Kess already. Why you going for free? Why you going to pay to see Kess in our next concert, right? So what do you think about the organizers really trying to compete with the promoters and them in with all the events that we had?
The thing is that I am not an organizer or anything.
Yeah.
You know, but just from my observation, you made the point, Stephen made the point about Adana. And Adana would have built herself over the years.
Yeah.
Adana would have been in the position where many of the artists found themselves this year, not known, so nobody want to put them on a show. And she built herself over the years, and I think because of the exposure she got by collaborating with some of the
Trinidad artists,
international artists and whatever, that would have put her there. And she had, I mean, no doubt at all that she has reached at a standard now where she's sought after. So that is why Adana is there. I am saying that you having a show where you're trying to get money, you're trying to make money, you're looking for headliners, right? Now, I don't know what kind of arrangement was made to put on these shows. If it was a collaboration or between the THA and these promoters, or it's just the promoters came and do their thing. And if the promoters came and do their thing in the Tobago space for the carnival, they want to make money.
Yeah.
And they will go with, even though I am saying it's just like a contractor, you give a contractor work and you say, well, here now, you're doing this work in the community, so you have to employ a certain percentage of the people here.
Yeah.
The money spent in here.
Yeah.
So that should have been the arrangement between the THA and the promoters. Now, like I said, I am not privy to what the arrangement was. But I'm just saying, if a promoter is coming blind-eyedly, if that is a word, to come and put on an event in Tobago, especially he might be competing with some other promoter doing something else. Many other promoters. He wants to make back his money. And you might come and say, well, yeah, you this little boy, this fella from space, and he's singing good, this boy, this from space. He said, but I never hear nothing about he. Play something, let me hear him. You know, that's the first thing, you know. I mean, it's the same thing you go through when people say, me again, no way I play. I used to be on a radio station.
There was another complaint
and people used to complain that I'm making records, I make 10 records, I record 10 songs, and all you're playing me music. And we say, well, send the music. And when the music come and you listen to the music, you're hearing the bass upstairs there.
Yeah.
You're hearing the drum in the back room there. You're hearing the vocalist out the road. And you tell them, hey, well, this mix good.
Yes.
And they're telling you, well, all they like all they want to play with music. But you have to spend money to lift your standard. You have to look for a good studio. I'm not saying that applies to all the artists. Because like I said, I look at this Soca Monarch or whatever it was, because Seaton saying, is not a Soca Monarch. Well, I do. Soca Stars or whatever.
Yes,
And I saw about 4, 5, 6 or so artists that stood out.
Right.
There was some that I wonder how they
that could ramp with an international.
Yeah, how they get into the first. Even even their presentation on stage, and it was up to class. It make me remember Soca Monarch in Trinidad, Soca Monarch final.
Yeah, so they
right?
ramp,
so there are persons here, but they have to be known. You have to make yourself known to the promoter.
Right.
Because the promoter, like I say, is spending the money to make money. Now, I know how he feel, but I'm you're ready.
Right.
And I'm using Adana again as an example.
Two of them want to
Who did
joke about.
No, listen. If you look at Adana, Adana had a baby, must be
Yeah, but
6 or 7 years ago, 6 or 7 months ago, right? And when you look at Adana on stage, her fitness, right? I mean, she did gym, she you know, her diet and all of that. She is a professional artist, and she's prepared. So she's in demand. I am saying everybody will not be at that stage, but you have to get there, and to get there, there are stages to reach there. So I'm just saying, now that we saw what happened for this carnival, in preparation for next year carnival, if February is too close for the national thing, preparing now for October next year, people have to start to put out the music there, put out the thing, do the profile, you know, whether do like them artists outside, what they eat for breakfast, when they went in the toilet, when they do, you know, let people know about you, and let children in school and things, instead of going to Burna Boy and Beanie Man and things, they're going to the Tobago. Hey, look Simba boy, look Simba bring out a boy from Delaforde boy. Let me see that boy. You know what I am saying? We have work to do.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You know, but what I still have to say now, the artists and them putting in the work, you realize I call amount of names, not names, but 30 to 40 artists, right? So let me times that by say $1,000 per track, right? If you buy the rhythm, producer the track. Look at the money that went out for the artists put out towards producing and trying to get recognized. Now, you see your personal recognition as an artist, that's up to you, right? Nobody not saying no. You as an artist have to market yourself, you have to put in the work, do all that TikTok thing we were talking about early in the morning, do all of that, right? But my thing is, we was given the opportunity to say, all the whole, stop the whole for a second. This is all your carnival. Let me see what all you could do, right? But when the all you could do now, you see the big party planners, the promoters and these people, them have no obligation to the local artists. I understand that, right? But what I'm saying, if the THA body who put this carnival committee front, if them was thinking about Tobago development in the music industry, they would have put things in place to sharpen up these artists, right? I am not saying that these artists work the same as the Trini artists, but we would have need the opportunity to perform even if it's in front of some school children, even if it's a road tour, even if it's a bus tour on the road from here to here, and they perform every hour. You understand what I'm saying? But we did not get that chance. But what the artists do have is a song recorded waiting and waiting. So now you have the artist that he watching the scene. He get one opportunity. Let me say he know a promoter because he girlfriend, friend, neighbor, who married to a man who live next to a fella by a car. That man is the man who... So let me say, it's a case like that. So now he tell himself, boy, let me talk to the man. And the man say, all right, I will give you a chance. Now this is his first time performing. Even if he link himself with the right promoter or the right DJ, he first time going out there to perform. He go out the same thing. He gasping for breath. He anxious. But this is my main thing. The THA body that put these carnival people in charge, they didn't see to put some funds into developing the music aspect of the thing. We don't expect every artist to go out there and wow the crowd. People drinking for the carnival, people have alcohol in their head. If you do a party, let me be real, if you say you put Kes as the main artist, you put Kes, Nyla, and let me say who call her name? Showing, right? These three artists you put forward as the main artist, and you call it Soca Glowing Tongue. That's the name of the party. So all you come in, all you go in there, Soca Glowing Tongue. Kes, Nyla, and Showing, and 6 other local artists. You think the local public will care that these 6 artists is there? You think they will not come? No, by me now I go by, they had them 6 artists there. No, they will go. So it starts from on top. The top need to have the mentality to think, yeah, what, it's time for a change. Let we start to involve with people fully 100. Even if we can't give them the full play, at least involve them 30, 70, 40, 60. But don't keep a whole event and have a boat ride with 100 trainee acts and then one, all you mention Adana. Now, before I cut, the city Soca Jam will take place, right? Let me talk some things on the inside below the carpet. The Soca Jam that took place, right?
Bring it on.
We'll bring it on.
Talk the things.
First of all,
Here we go.
there was a arrangement, right, between a Trinidad promoter, radio personnel, you name it, what you want to call it, right? This personnel sold the THA a rhythm, which is a Scarborough rhythm, right? Now, back to what I was saying, the THA all of a sudden they're competing with stakeholders like if them is promoters, because the THA have invested money in a rhythm called the Scarborough rhythm, which they bought for how much amount I don't know, right? So this is one thing, they have the copyrights for this rhythm, right? So then, so let me go further into the thing, right?
The thing
So
is,
no, let me take this finish first. Let me finish it first.
I know learning something.
This is very important. Let me finish this first, right?
aware of that.
So let me show you what
finish.
happened for the carnival in case you all didn't know. So they bought the rhythm. So now their investment is this rhythm. Besides, they might have given some promoters some funds to show a party here. They might have invested some money in the mass camp here. Besides all this money they put out, they have a rhythm they bought called the Scarborough rhythm. Right? That's their investment. Now, them understanding of it and what was put forward to them is that here were all their own rights to the rhythm. So every artist on the rhythm, when the music get played in the radio, when the music, when you all sing live, wherever you all use commercial ads, wherever, we now gonna get a percentage of that, right? So now here what come and happen. That become the rhythm that they start to push for the carnival because the THA had their hands in that rhythm. Every other rhythm that was put forward for the carnival was played on the radio. People told me, Simba, we hear your song plenty on the radio. Big up the Harvest rhythm, the Harvest crew, we work hard on that rhythm. Great Fete, we perform. In the Great Fete, we had a chance to perform the Harvest Crew rhythm, which was the first soca rhythm that came out in Tobago. Nobody can contest this, right? So back to the Scarborough rhythm now. So now they have artists that when you perform, them gonna get a cut from the rhythm because you're on a 50-50 deal with them. And these particular artists been running around Tobago, getting all the shows. And then that is why we have one Adana getting all the shows everywhere because the government interest put Adana there, put show in there, put this one there because these are the artists, them paid. You think it's Joe?
Go on, Avery.
I try to breathe.
You know the things, they man drop some heavy on me, boy.
Never breathe. All right.
That's a heavy one.
Yep. Where should I start? I tell you where to start from. Where to start? You talk about the THA or the persons getting involved with the promoters on the event. Competing. Let me tell you. I think that was wrong. It was wrong. They are there to make policies.
It's supposed to facilitate it.
Facilitate policies. Right? Simba, yeah, court close. Let me get.
You will see a press release tomorrow, I'm telling you.
My family, I consider my family. I consider that gentleman my family because you know that too. Nigel Lewis created a rhythm called the Heritage Rhythm. And wasn't because of the whatever Scarborough rhythm. It's everybody doing rhythm. It's the Heritage Rhythm. It's the Lekito rhythm.
The Harvest rhythm.
Lekito rhythm called the Harvest rhythm.
Lekito rhythm.
And on that rhythm, the young man whose name is Javon Royal Jackson. Royal created a song. When he created this song, I said, Royal, that is a song, boy. When he sent the verse and chorus, because I am a person, hats off, I'm managing Nigel Lewis. Right? I'm managing Nigel Lewis and stuff. So I just said, boy, let me jump at him. I said, boy, What happened? Let's just go with it. And when that boy sang that song called Heritage, it have every element of Tobago and the heritage within that song. Simba, you hear the song too. And when we jump the song out to Easy King, man for Tuko.
Yeah. That Tuko.
Brought that. Tobago was sing for carnival. You saw it, huh?
Yeah.
No hotel, had no room. Boat car come in, plane car come in. So it was a hit. Tobago was sing for carnival. Song going. Prince Unique, everybody in this song.
On the rhythm,
and the rhythm going good. Mr. Leacock, hats off to you. One gentleman took me with them and carry it. Right? My thing is, yes, Royal is a young artist who coming up among Sherman Chester and among all these other artists.
Right, yeah, wild too still.
And Mr. Paula said something rightfully. And Simba said it also. He said artists need training. That brings me to what we used to do. I feeling good that we could do this, you know. We create something in the new Tobago Soca world, not Soca Stars or Stars of Soca, Soca want to be stars. In the new Tobago Soca Monarch. Because the Tobago Soca Monarch is legally registered under Ainsley King.
Okay.
The new Tobago Soca Monarch, better known as NTSN, the event is registered under every Seaton and his organization, the Men of Exile. And since then, in how many years of my life, I always believe in training. And we have always advocate for training for the artists. Simba, you know that?
Yeah.
In every Soca Monarch competition, that's why this competition last year, this year, Mr. Leacock, I'm very sorry to say this, and my friend Peter Lewis, cockroach in the condensed milk.
So, all right.
So we always had training for the artists.
Cockroach in the country.
Cockroach, that's it.
When you do a soca show or any competition in Tobago, we create a space for the artist development. Every year, before every artist say that before they go on stage, we take them to a series of training for stage presentation, how to hold your mic, stage right, stage left, how to perform on a stage. We have people coming and talking to them and developing. We have been judges around from the International Soca Monarch and things, know what we're looking for, what is thing. So it's a process. Even Mr. William Monroe, you should do the same thing. It's a process. You're not just taking an artist and trim inside there and taking them and throw inside there. It's a process of development.
Right.
No artists like to jump up and say, this. I'm a producer myself, you know, I do think. Many artists came to me, and there's one artist, a big artist, I ain't calling him, and they came to me to record him. To get him into the recording studio, Jam Productions in Trinidad, in Belmont. He came to me, the box of chicken in his hand, snapping him out, ketchup, mustard, pepper, everything, and eating, and the
professionalism.
And the cities in the back. I walk out Urtic Road, 42 Urtic Road. Walk out the studio and open it. I said, better turn back, go and come back. So I said, I couldn't care how your music sounds, but go and come back because you have to present yourself better than that to me.
Presentation.
Yeah,
professionalism.
Yes, we have artists out here who could perform, but presentation is important. As Mr. Paula said, Adana did the work. She deserved to be in the show. She did her work. But again, there are other people around her that have this, could get the same forward as her. And why they are being shun off.
So what I'm saying, we see, based on what Simba said, based on what you said, right? That this carnival gone, we saw a lot of the help that could have gone to the Tobago artists didn't happen. On the way forward, could we have the organizations, Tuku, in charge of the Calypsonians, you have an organization in charge of soca artists, to come up with a proposal to the THA, to the Division of Culture. Don't wait until 6 weeks before they come. Just start from now. We want to have a training, a development for artists. Just as you would have people for mass, you're bending wire, you're bringing people to teach them, you know, to do these things.
It is there.
What?
I send a proposal.
So I don't know. So
I send a proposal.
I like how you said that, Mr. Paul. Let me just jump in quick. I like how you said that, you know. But what I want all to realize, right, is umpteen years artists singing, you know. Do not try to make Tobago artists like we must start from scratch, so we have to go and sing course. No, it have people using the internet today and go and do so la 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 and do so in the bathroom. There is a big star tomorrow, right? So it's not about who. You don't have to spend 20 years before you bust into this music game. That time for that pass, right? You could really start now. You don't even need vocal training because this is how you song. This is unique, this is how you song. You don't have to go and try to song like a songbird. Some people don't need that. Some people have their creativity the way they are. Some people walk the way they are. Meaning, for me, for example, I as a person, when they see me, yeah, my name is Simba Lion. I am a lion by nature. Meaning, I will sometimes. If I'm passionate about something, I will This whole carnival, I was Why? Because nobody was fighting for the artists and them in Tobago. I sacrificed myself and went and cussed everybody in, from Kevin McKenna to Tigger, who is a promoter slash DJ, to Miss Megan Morris. I write personal message. Tasha Boris sent she a voice note 2 minutes long on she a messenger. All of that I've been doing behind the scenes leading up to this carnival, you know? Not for my personal interest. Let them say if Simba text them on some personal thing. Oh God, they gave me no show, but I support the PDP. This was never my motion. My motion was, I find it was a kind of, they leave we out. We wasn't considered enough. No. So moving forward, we don't want no training program. We ready, brother. We ready. Forget all this training. Forget all this trying to go and sing for Mr. John Allen and them. Forget go and trying to go by this one to learn this. Forget all of that. We ready for the road. This is an era that using technology. The technology we using, it have what we call it this audio tune. People do not even care about if you could song so good. Yeah, once you have a stage presence, you could perform, you song good, lick in my head, brother, sing for me.
Yeah, but
sing for me.
But listen,
Simba, sing for me, brother, I will listen.
Simba,
sing for me.
Simba,
we gotta do good just now.
Auto-tune could work for recording.
True,
but if you go on stage live, man out a key.
Well, right, guess
so
what?
This is where the training come in.
It have auto-tune mic. You know it have mic when they sing it with auto-tune. That is deep into the performance. But what I'm saying, we need to first of all get out there where we can be performing. Because guess what? Even if you do it auto-tune, you ain't get any chance to perform no way. So we're going to do it. You're going to do it raw, and let us say it raw. Then they say it in mix and master good. Right. Forget all that. We have top of the line engineers in Tobago. The musicians are here. We are ready. We don't have time to go and learn nothing. We're ready to perform.
Right, listen.
A little whole way back and try to put Trinidad's in front of we, and we must learn. And they forget all them learning thing. I come out of school long time.
Listen, Simba. Hey, Lion.
You're talking about yourself.
Lion.
Right? But yeah, other people.
Lion, I gave you the symbol, right? Watch it.
Lion, poor
right.
boy.
So now we're good. Simba, you're making some sense, but let me explain something. There's certain groups I'm calling that went to studio with me and other persons on calling, and they perform very good in studio. Bam, bam, bam. The studio artists and performing artists. I took them down. This called the hardest place ever singing live is in South. South Trinidad.
It's not here.
If you want, no, but if you want to know, go down Sando. Right. Gypsy could tell you that. Right? And listen, somebody fresh. promoter, we again, this year's thing, half up front before you perform. That's me, manager. When them boy go on stage and them singing like crab in a barrel and cockroach and all kind of thing, crap who going to school, all kind of thing, the man watch me so, the crowd watch me so. Liquor man here still, and liquor no like make us say, something off. The band playing the key here and them fellas like a one tune the key across so, two or two punching the head across so. It was a whole sort of madness. What we talking about when we prepare an artist? We know artists can perform. We know they can sing. They have some proper vocal, some other vocal training. But when it comes to us to perform, we want to know you will present a proper show. So within that, in our training, we are training you for that proper show, the showmanship. We train you also for on-stage and off-stage showmanship.
Right.
Because you're going to, when you represent this Tobago Soca Monarch or enter the event or whatever Soca Monarch or Star Soccas, you have to represent a proper way. So what you're saying making sense. But also, you have to recognize this also, there is a life after this whole performance. Because when you don't perform, Tobago like here and Trinidad like here and Guinea like here, whatever. When you reach outside there, it's another world again you're going to face. So you have to be prepared for that.
Right. Practice by doing, right? Practice by doing. So let me just say quick, practice by doing. You see the energy, right? And the vibes that the artist will put in when he live singing in front of a crowd is different compared to if somebody in front of there and trying to coach him, right? So even if he had the coaching and he had the best there, when you put him in front of a crowd, is a whole different. The adrenaline start pumping in. He can't hear himself on the mic. He's a scene. If he put the mic by his chest, you're not with him. You understand what I'm saying? Now, this is what I'm talking about. We need avenues where artists get to practice by doing. Meaning, all they come, sing here. It's not a big show, you know. Just some random shows. Look, it have plenty shows that they did that was free. You know what I mean?
By
These
choice.
artists could have get a chance.
They could not get no money.
But you understand what I'm saying? They did it by free. So you telling me this was an opportunity for artists to come and sing. Then when he go back and look at the footage, now he go realize to himself, boy, I was too loud. Boy, I didn't talk to the crowd much. Now, next time I get to perform, I will work on that. You practice by doing. This art form is not the same thing like in books and school. It's different. Take it from a musician who do music. What works for an artist? You see, live interaction, and next thing I had to correct you with Avery. You said about artists in terms of professionalism. Professionalism doesn't come with a suit and tie.
Nope, it don't.
It don't, you know?
It don't.
I know artists that if you see how they live and if you see how they function and put them in the studio, they freestyle better than me, they put the words better than me. Me, when I go in the studio, if I drink too much in the studio, boy, engineer have problem with me. Because I get problem to remember.
I want to correct you. When I say professionalism, I never mention jacket or tie.
I just saying, you know.
Professionalism don't mean. Professional means the way you operate.
Yeah, I understand.
The way you approach things.
But you have to remember, it have ordinary
like
and it have a painter.
Discipline.
But it have ordinary and have a painter. The Sherlock Holmes that we know is not somebody that was normally average. Them fellas different in their ways. So artists have different in their ways. They don't always follow the line of things. Some of them decide this or that. They project themselves the way like that. And you must see me when they hear your name. Okay, that's why your name so. I really see attitude. You really so and so. Let me just say this before I go. What I believe Tobago need for sure, we need a booking agency. You see, a booking agency that is for Tobago artists, a booking agency. We need promotional packages, meaning you could go. Now, a manager for an artist is different. People think, oh, you should get a manager. The artist to manage himself and a manager. Let me tell you what the role of a manager is in case somebody out there who feel or they know as an artist. I've been living in Europe. I live in America. I've been doing music with big entertainers, right? And even throwing shows and being on the backside of things and being the one paying the artist to come and also singing myself. All this I did in Switzerland, right? So let me tell you how we go as an artist and a promoter. What I was telling AP, remind me. Remember what I was not telling me.
See if again.
What do you manager is
right, yes. The manager role I was talking about.
Yeah.
Now the manager role in particular. Say if you're going on the road, Manager need to make sure you have the plane ticket book, your apartment organized, where you need for your apartment. All this time for performance, time for rehearsal. This is a manager role, right? Now we're talking about promotional. It have promotional people, right? Who do social media. This is not a manager. The people promote your social media. There's this way. Then there's the one I was just talking about. Besides that, the booking agency. That's a different thing. So now you have a manager, a booking agency, and a promotional package, or whatever you want to call it.
Don't forget the A&I representative.
Right. So I just saying for artists out there, right now. Artists trying to develop the craft. We know we keep practice, we keep doing everything. But if you want to move forward, I give all your advice. A manager is for when you reach the stage, I guess what? I am too busy to call this and find out what time I need to be there for. When is the show, how much it costs? No. That's what a manager does. You tell your manager your price, the manager coordinate that for you.
That's right.
Your booking agency, you have booking agents go call you and say, hey, what's going on? There's a show coming up, they ask about you. This is what the booking agency does. That's not your manager. Then before you know it, you have a promoter. When you drop a song, you send it this way. This promoter, right, doing sometimes it's pay for views online. It's all kind of release dates leading up to a video drop. All of this is what the promotional part. It's 3 different parts. We need this in Tobago, not just managers.
I had to cut you. Avery, closing comments from everybody. Avery, go start.
Listen,
go ahead.
I want to say Simba first. Simba, in 20-something, I have bought a thing called Access the Arts.
You had 30 seconds.
And Simba's right. Simba is right. Artists supposed to know the role. And as forever, we have been asking you all to come to us as a show you the techniques of access the art. Simba know that. Tobago Carnival was a success because it happened. I think what we need to do in Tobago, as Simba and all of us in Spanish say, it's time for us to showcase our artists. But our artists ourselves have to know our roles and know what we are. There are artists out there. So I say, you guys, some of you all could sing and some of you all cannot sing. They are production. Some of you all, same thing that some of you all are writers. Learn your roles. Learn your position in the industry. Do not just jump in. This industry just like you get up in the morning and say, I want to sing, I want to do this. Yes, get up in the morning, you want to sing. But first, find your craft, harness your craft, and to be ready for you.
Quick.
Right.
What you like to see for next year carnival?
More involvement in Tobago.
More involvement
in Tobago, people and Tobago
stakeholders.
artists and stakeholders.
Yep.
What you like to see for Tobago carnival next year?
All right. The thing is that the topic tonight had to do with carnival, but it seems as though it went on to soca and artists and things.
You only had 2 soca men here, so
I would
that's probably why it
I would like to say, based on what happened this year, for next year, all the stakeholders have to get together. The Panchwin-Bego, the Tuku, the mass people, the soca people, everybody get together with whoever organization under the THA, early o'clock, and collaborate and plan your involvement. If you need support on the way on in, as much as Simba saying everybody ready, and if a man could sing, he could that the thing. Sometimes when you spoil the wrong way, it's hard to break you out. So I think everybody needed, and training doesn't mean that you're taking people from scratch. There are different levels when you go for training, but you must have some form of formal training and organization. Even as Seaton say, right? Even though it's in discipline, in how you carry about yourself and that kind. Because that discipline throw down a lot of people. Tobagonians, you know, in sports too, you know. Yeah, some fellas who was the best batsmen in Tobago and went Trinidad, and because of discipline, they can't reach practice in time and they drinking rum whole night and all kind of thing. They couldn't make Trinidad team or West Indies team. But the best batsman ever passed through the West Indies, right? So I'm just saying, artists need that kind of thing. And I think this is what the organizations should be looking at from here on in, to get monies spent on preparation, whether it's people in the mass, Panchwin-Bego doing great work, and Panchwin-Bego we show how steel bands leave Tobago and go and mash up Trinidad until we having the medium band finals in Tobago now,
yeah.
and that is a permanent fixture, right? And that was because of a lot of hard work, and because of arrangers in Tobago, Winston Gordon and different other people raising the bar and having Tobago bands go down and compete. And they didn't ask to say, well, I'm a Tobagonian or they're leaving me out. Sometimes you have to knock harder on the door and make your presence felt, right? So I'm saying Tobago artists, we have to put in the work, we have to impress people, and we go get work. Right. We go get out there.
Simba,
Yes.
real quick, what
Yes.
you like to see for next year?
Yes, man. As I said, definitely the carnival, it looked real good. Big up those who was involved, you know what I mean, the whole team, right? But we still have to say, right? More involvement, as Mr. Powder said, more involvement from the Tobago. And this don't mean all they could come out and jump up on a truck when they see a truck passing. We're not talking about that kind of involvement. We mean from the ground. You see, when all they know carnival start, right there and then all they must set out some things to cover all aspects of the carnival. So everybody could, no, nobody say everything has to be a competition. Why? We don't want to compete for everything, you know? It's not about competing for everything. It's about actually knowing that we have the opportunity because something was put forward there for us. All promoters from all over, all they could come and do all the shows like we love Trinidadians. We love when all they come here for carnival. Without Trinis, boy, it's a hard carnival.
It's a hard carnival.
It's a hard carnival because Trinis just jump up and excite themselves to anything.
No,
we over here watching so.
There's bringing numbers too.
Fetillions,
You know,
boy.
but they definitely have that. So we love all it. But all I'm saying, Tobago Carnival for now, all you have to watch at it as all you spectators in we carnival. Meaning all you could jump in the mass, you know, or they could come and partake, but do not come and feel the idea is to be the majority and run it in. Like if, as some people say, it was a Trini Carnival in Tobago. Right? So I just say for next year, hope we have some kind of balance all around, including the artists and them, myself, all they book me, don't vex with me. I love
Calypso, everybody get involved.
All right, gentlemen.
Mass.
On that note, we are at the end tonight. Very, very fruitful discussion we had tonight. I'm very grateful you had the discussion. Thanks, guys, so much for coming out. Thanks for giving us your time. Thanks for giving Tobago your time and your viewpoints and your opinions. All right, and we hope, well, it's all our hope that Tobago Carnival next year will be bigger, better, and we'll learn our lessons from this year and carry it forward. All right?
man. Yeah, man.
So tonight, we want to bid you adieu for tonight. Next week, we're going to be back, continuing the show. Again, we come back from the hiatus, but we energize and we're ready to go to the rest of the year. All right, so from Tobago Update Studios, I'm Edison Thomas, and I bid you good night. We'll see you next week.